What do you do with this amazing light gathering beast? This device that allows you to take your long focal length SCT, shooting at thousands of millimeters and reducing it down to hundreds. How do you take this and configure it at f2 to lock onto a target to capture it efficiently? How do you configure it for collimation, for sensor tilt, getting it set up inside of Nina, locking onto a target, and that target is going to be the Great Lagoon Nebula? These and other questions, these and other things we're going to be discussing today on another episode of Astro Playground. Stick around. Here we are in Nina, and this has been connected. We have gone ahead and connected to our 2600, the one-shot color, and that camera is currently cooling. I've got it set to -5. What you ultimately want to do is make sure that the camera, the cooling system is not running more than about 70%. You don't want to burn out that fan, so keep it around 70% or under. It's also a manual rotator. It is not possible to put the any kind of rotation device on the front of the telescope like that. It'll interfere with the image. So in connecting to the mount, we've gone ahead and selected sidereal, got the mount tracking with the Earth. Our guiding is up and running right now in PhD2. We're not doing too bad, floating between 3 and 4, sometimes 0.5, 0.3, 0.4, like that, depending. And in taking our first image of the Lagoon Nebula, you can see this is just a basic image, shot 30-second exposure. That exposure is still an amazing amount of data for such a short exposure time. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at some of the detail that's there. Pull forward, and as you can see, some of the dust lanes and the clouds and such are showing up quite nicely. And of course, we will increase the subs and the sub length on this, the exposure times and such, but the overall effect of what you see there is pretty impressive. So in looking at our options, first of all, for those of you that are new to Nina, you can customize Nina, with all of your, color palettes and tags and naming and so on and so forth. So in looking at our camera, the camera, we want to make sure that the settings for our 2600 are at the proper levels. And in doing this, the focal length for particular telescope had to be changed from 2737 down to 720, and our focal ratio from 0.7 f7 down to f2. So also important to note that Nina will connect with your planetarium software like Stellarium, which is very nice because then you can go in and just select your target and it'll send it right to Nina. You can frame it up in Stellarium and it works quite well. So looking at our autofocus routine, we're not going to change a whole heck of a lot here. I will adjust the binning from 2x2 down to 1. It's important to keep the binning the same. So we're just going to take that down to 1. The step size is going to remain approximately the same. We might change that to affect the autofocus. Might need to take that up a little bit. I was noticing the half flux radius was a little different, so we may do that. I am not going to select a filter for the focus. I'm just going to leave that blank and go with current for our autofocus routine. So in looking at our file settings, most of this is going to remain the same. We're not going to mess around a whole heck of a lot in here. And of course, you want to make sure that in plate solving that you've got your plate solver all set up. You want to make sure that you're telling it which filter you're using, and all of the other parameters that are necessary for you to get a good solved image, so that you can stay locked on a target and rotate and so on and so forth. So, in looking at our image, we are in pretty good shape. The initial autofocus routine wasn't terrible. It's still half flux radius stayed right around 0.99, which is excellent. That's very, very good. We also want to take a look at the image and check out the stars to make sure that our stars are in nice round status in the corners. And as you can see, those stars, for the most part, they are in very, very good shape. So when we went ahead and collimated the HyperStar, I got very, very lucky, fortunate. So looking at our compass, you can see that position right there is the telescope, and then right here is representing where my house is. So the X that you see there is our target. So we've got a nice window at 37 degrees, and the Lagoon Nebula is right around 37 degrees elevation. We are in a very good spot to photograph it. So we're going to just take a quick snapshot. So we'll turn that on. I'm going to rename this from snapshot to the Lagoon Nebula. You'll be able to find that in your file manager under Nina, and it will be right there for you to go ahead and pull in. Now it's going to be in a FITS file, so you'll have to open it up probably in PixInsight, or if you have some other way of opening up FITS files to preview them, that will definitely help. So looking at our image, as you can see down here, there's your progression bar. That bar is nice to know because it tells you, okay, the image is halfway done, 3/4 of the way done. Oh, look at that, the image is done. And it moves on to either the next sub, or it's done with the snapshot. So guiding is still looking excellent. We are at 0.4, which is, that's excellent. You can stay between 0.3, 0.4. You're doing very, very well. So in taking a look at some of our sequencers and the advanced sequencer, I have some templates that I've gone ahead and implemented for this project. I've used the basic templates and just modified them. It's not terribly difficult to do. So we're just going to do our start sequence right here, and then we will grab our target sequence and stick it right here. And we're going to go ahead and grab the end sequence, and the end sequence, of course, drops towards the bottom. So we'll put that right down here. So in looking at the sequencer, you're going to notice a couple things. First of all, it's going to start the sequence by cooling the camera. Now, because down here in Florida, it's really warm right now, so I don't want to overtax my cooler. So I'm going to change it from 0.10, which is fine in the winter down here or in the spring, to either -5 or 0, so it's not overtaxing. What we want to do is make sure that the camera isn't working harder than about 70%. So looking at our target, there is not a target selected here, so we're going to go over to our selecting to the framing wizard, and we've already got the Lagoon loaded up, and as you can see, I've got it framed the way I like it. I'm going to send this right to Nina, and it will load right up, and as you can see, it shows you the parameters for the Lagoon Nebula, including the current position and where the Lagoon Nebula is, which is represented by the line in the image there. The dot that you see there is the zenith. That's the highest point that the lagoon will reach. So we're in pretty good shape to get a couple of hours. In looking at the different parameters, it of course is going to do an autofocus, a slew, center, rotate, and then we're going to go down into our smart selections, all right, and our smart target, smart exposures. Now I've got 2 selected here, but I'm only going to use 1. So I'm going to just change the parameters on the this particular, and I think I'm probably going to use, I'm going to use this one right here. And this is, of course, we have to change this to, one by one, change the filter. That filter right now is setting at current. It is just the standard moon and sky glow filter, IR cut. But I'm going to change these parameters to affect what I want the current imaging to match my camera. All right. So the end sequence is, of course, going to warm the camera. It's going to park the scope, warm the camera, and go ahead and shut things down. So that's our sequence. We'll go ahead and give it a quick run. It will start with our autofocus, and the autofocus routine takes a minute. So I will just go ahead and speed the video up a little bit here. So we had a pretty good focus routine. It is right now slewing on the target. It will do a plate solve and tell me the rotation, in which you can see right now, based on my my target selector, I need to rotate this image. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. We'll take a step outside.
Later, in the void, and
rotate the camera with the HyperStar, and it will then again expose, slew, expose, and tell me, oh, well, okay, you got close, but not close enough. So we need to again take the rotation down a little bit more, get it closer, and of course now, as you can see, we are much closer. And last time it got it. We're right there. So it is now centered on the Lagoon Nebula. It has started the PhD-2. It has selected a guide star. As you can see, in the reticle in the upper right-hand corner there, it is locked on that star, and we're in good shape as far as guiding. If you look carefully, you can see that we are now image capturing, and we will go ahead and get 120, possibly 150 or so images at 30 seconds, and we'll see how this fleshes out. Taking into note the whole procedure as it relates to this image capture. So in looking at of course the guiding is, we're doing very, very well. So we will go ahead and let the sequence finish out and move on to our next filter.
Many, many unbearable moments later.
So it's now the next evening, and I have changed filters, and I'm on this, of course, the same target, but I'm using a different filter now. This is the IDIS NBZ Nebula Booster. Fantastic filter, and it produces some pretty amazing results, as you'll see. Moving on to our next image, which is done with the NBZ filter, I changed up a few things. The offset, for one thing, is changed significantly. I have adjusted the offset, and that has produced a better result, and I'll show you what I mean. If you look at the statistics on this image, which is now not 30-second exposure, but 60-second exposure with the NBZ Nebula Booster. All right. This image, if you look at the statistics on it, the spike for our histogram is shoved all the way to the left, but just shy of the extreme. What we want to do is avoid the clipping. All right. That will produce the nice darks, but not the false darks, the clipped darks. We don't want that. We want the actual darks, not anything that is a data loss. So guiding is obviously excellent. We're doing very, very well there. The Lagoon Nebula is absolutely gorgeous, even at a 160-second exposure. It is phenomenally beautiful in its detail. We have plenty of time for a significant amount of data capture. I'm going to try to get about 3 hours. That's about 180 seconds. It is exactly 180 seconds of exposure, 60-second subs, 180 of them. And we will then use those to combine with the luminance to get our final image. And as you can see in all of our parameters here, they have been adjusted, especially the offset is also been adjusted. Lagoon is just absolutely beautiful. Crystal clear, and just the details are phenomenal. And that's in part due to that wonderful NBZ filter, which pulls out the colors that are in that nebula. It's just amazing. So you take a closer look at some of the finer details in here. You can see the clouds, the gas lanes, the definition, and the contrast in here is just amazing. And this is 1/62nd sub, 1/62nd sub. It is phenomenal. The HyperStar does such a great job of pulling in data, and it turns that C14 into just an incredible light bucket. So there you have it. The HyperStar is unquestionably one of the best tools for any SCT owner. It produces results that are undeniable and absolutely beautiful. It is important also to note that I intend to continue the data gathering on the moon and sky glow filter. I was only able to get about 90 minutes or so. I plan on adding at least 3, maybe 4 hours of data to that, and then combining that in with the NBZ Nebula booster for the narrowband. I think that the results will be amazing. But that's for our upcoming episode, in episode 3, where we will be getting into the processing in PixInsight and using the post-processing software to get our results to the final stage. I hope you enjoy this kind of content. If you do, consider giving us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. I would also encourage you to go ahead and click that notification bell. That notification bell will ensure that when we put new content up, you'll be notified right away, so you'll be able to see our latest content. I would also encourage you to check out Astro World TV. Astro World has, for many years now, provided an environment where people from all walks of life, from all experience levels, can come in and have a community of like-minded individuals that share this love for astrophotography and astronomy. We do talk all things astrophotography, and of course we talk about our personal setups, our victories, our defeats, the ups and downs that are inevitable in this hobby. So I would encourage you to come over and check us out at Astro World TV. We meet every week, twice a week, on Wednesdays and Fridays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you are new to the channel and you are visiting Astro World for the first time, let them know that you got the invite by meeting us here at Astro Playground. I would also encourage you to check out Astro World Telescopes. My buddy Dan Higgins runs an awesome online resource for everything astrophotography and the like. I encourage you to check out our homepage. There's a link to Astro World Telescopes there. It doesn't cost you anything to use it, but we get a small stipend for everything that you buy there. A commission comes back to us, and that helps us to continue to support this program and the content that you have come to enjoy. If you'd like to also continue to support us, you can consider buying me a coffee. I would encourage you to also consider supporting us monthly with a subscription at Buy Me a Coffee. All proceeds go to support this channel, and so that we can continue to bring you the kind of content that you enjoy and that we love to bring to you. I also encourage you to leave us a comment. Tell us about your personal victories. Tell us about your struggles. If you think you've got a better way of doing something, tell us about it. Leave it in that comments. If you think we're doing something right, give us that thumbs up and tell us all about it in the comments. If you think we're doing something wrong, please enlighten me. I've got an open mind and I certainly don't know everything. Hey, you know what? Maybe you just think I'm being an idiot.
I'm an idiot!
Don't get discouraged in this process. There is so many factors involved in astrophotography that can make this a very challenging hobby to participate in. Be it the complexity of the rig setups or the fact that we deal with weather and we deal with the lunar cycles. We deal with all kinds of ups and downs. But when all of the stars align, so to speak, and we get a nice clear night where we can image on a target, it makes it all worth it. So I would encourage you to continue to look up and be fascinated by the incredible universe that we have been privileged to discover. Keep imaging and keep educating yourself. And clear skies. Until we meet again, from all of us here at Astro Playground, bye for now.